Hello, everyone. It's Charlton. Please subscribe to my channel and tap the notification bell. And like this video, that helps me to keep making videos, and I'd appreciate it majorly. I could say something smart to all those people who say, just because you asked for it, I'm not going to subscribe to your channel. But I won't. I won't do that. I'm not like that. I am like that, but I'm not going to do it. So, there's this story here about Donald Trump and his golf course in Turnberry that they're investigating at one of the House committees. I think it's Elijah Cummings' committee, the Oversight committee. Who knows? I'll see. I'll probably read it in the article. They're looking into the fact that the airport next to Turnberry has been used quite a bit, and they're suggesting that it's been unnecessarily wasting government money. And I think the implication is that Trump is been doing it to pad his pockets, to boost the revenue at his golf course, and probably, I guess, enhance his brand. Which the enhance your brand thing, I say, okay, fine, but the dollar amounts we're talking about here are nothing, and so, I just don't see anything significant there whatsoever. I mean, basically it says, no, not there. Here it is here. Taken together, the incidents raise the possibility that the military has helped keep Trump's Turnberry resort afloat. The property lost $4.5 million in 2017, but revenue went up $3 million in 2018. I guess as a result of what? But I think that's completely meaningless. I mean, he spent $200 million on, and I'm against Trump, okay, and I'm asking much sort of sinister questions here, and they're just this is totally just things that just stand out at me. Nothing more than that. I mean, I'm sitting here on my couch, I mean, what the hell else am I going to do? So, but they do stand out to me. He spent $200 million on it to redo the place. He bought it in 2014, I think, for $60 million. Put $200 million into it and opened it back up in 2016, right before he became president. And actually, this military contract to use the airport, I think, was negotiated in 2015. You know, and the Trump organization was involved in it. Even though they probably weren't involved necessarily in the military aspect of it, they were one of the parties that officials, ministers from Scotland on a trip to the United States to basically promote it as some kind of potential military airport and other things, that I don't want to really, that it's just too deep, of like making it maybe a space post, or whatever. I'm not using all the right terminology, but I don't care. So, but a couple of things totally, I was just like, that is weird. That is weird. Okay, this is the first one where it says, the military has spent $11 million on fuel at Prestwick Airport. This is, I should have brought it up. That's the airport that's near Trump Turnberry. It's, I think, 50 miles from it or something like that. And he has two golf courses there. He has one that's in Aberdeen and one that's in Turnberry. And the one that's at Aberdeen that I think continues to lose money too. But that's not even what I don't care. That's not what I'm talking about. I'm talking about something possibly way bigger, but like I said, this is just kind of my fantastical thinking, which people make fun of you when you're honest about yourself, but fuck them. And I thought things like this a while ago. That's why when I saw, I'm being very vague, I'm not being very specific. I'll get a little more specific here, but I can't get that specific. I thought these things when we were talking about this topic a long time ago. So where's the map? Very quickly. There's Turnberry. There's Prestwick, and the airport's not far from there. If you go in close enough at some point, there it is. Glasswick, Prestwick. Airport. I think I'm probably pronouncing that wrong too. And Aberdeen is up here. Not that it matters, but just so you have some. Where is it? Aberdeen. He has a golf course in there too. And here's, it's all part of the United Kingdom. I don't know where the boundary between Scotland and the United Kingdom is, but whatever. So, anyways, all right. So it says the military has spent $11 million on fuel at Prestwick Airport, the closest airport to Trump Turnberry, since October 2017. October 2017. Does that date ring a little bit of a bell to some people who watched my videos and who probably were introduced to me, from in my videos because I used to talk about a certain thing all the time? The Vegas shooting, October 2017. And there is, what is it, Nellis Air Base? There's an Air Force base that's right outside of, Las Vegas. In the airport, there's a private airport right there, right in front of the Mandalay Bay. I don't even know what airport that is. And there's been, I talked many times about all these different connections to the Air Force. And I don't even remember them all, but whatever. Airport. What's the name of that airport? I know it's McCarran Airport, McCarran International Airport. Okay, so great. I wasted about 5 minutes doing nothing, but that's definitely pretty strange to me that this started getting used so much after in October 2017, and it actually says it has the number of. It cited Defense Logistics Agency records showing 629 full fuel purchase orders worth $11 million since October 2011. Basically, I mean, this House Oversight Committee is saying that, and I'm saying something completely different. Yeah, I think you know what I'm saying. I'm saying something way, way bigger, worse. I mean, $11 million is nothing. It doesn't mean jack. But they're saying that it's helping this because it costs the government more to fuel planes in commercial airports than it does in regular bases and military bases, and that it's just a waste, and that they don't even need to go through this airport on the way to Kuwait. At least that's one of the trips that it was taking to Kuwait. And this article is about, it starts out the article by saying, in early spring this year, an Air National Guard crew made a routine trip from the United States to Kuwait to deliver supplies. What wasn't routine was where the crew stopped along the way. President Donald Trump's Turnberry Resort, about 50 miles outside Glasgow, Scotland. Since April, the House Oversight Committee has been investigating why the crew on the C-17 military transport plane made the unusual stay, both en route to the Middle East and on the way back at the luxury waterside resort, according to several people. So, in addition to using this airport when it's it's not even necessarily the most convenient airport to use on its way to Kuwait, they're saying that the airmen used his resort 50 miles from there. I don't care about that part. I don't care about any of it. I'm just telling you. I do care, but I'm just saying. I'm not I'm just telling you what I think. So, but that's the other stuff that they're pointing out, and they were saying it was so expensive that the money that airmen are allotted for their stays in these things, they didn't have enough to even pay for their food and beverages for whatever. That's not terribly significant, but so. And this other Guardian report, and this is from a while ago. This is not recent. This is from February 2018. And it's talking about how this came into being, and that's what I was looking to, which it seems very strange to me. This seems strange to me. It does. The fact that it's October 2017 when they start using this base in with some volume. The U.S. military, I guess, on its way en route to the Middle East. In this article, it's talking about Kuwait, but I assume it includes other parts of the Middle East, like Afghanistan, maybe, or other parts, whatever. And there's details here about, significant operations, military operations going on at this airport, at Glasgow Prestwick Airport. The document reveals the USAF, the United States Air Force, Stratotanker air-to-air refueling aircraft operated several stories from Prestwick while based there for 3 weeks in May 2017. That month, the U.S. Air Force also approved active duty missions from Prestwick for Hercules C-130 cargo planes for its Air Mobility Command, which described the C-130 as the prime transport for airdropping troops and equipment into hostile areas. Just to illustrate that there's some pretty significant military assets using this airport. So, but this goes into how this came into being, how they started using this airport, and it goes back to 2015, April of 2015. I just found it very odd, I mean, I understand basically they're saying they were trying to promote this airport, and from the Trump organization's perspective, it's saying that the Trump organization was interested in having high net worth clients use that airport, and eventually visit his golf course. I mean, this is another email that goes into that, and it goes into, I mean, it talks about. So Sturgeon said in February 2016 that the Scottish government has had no discussions on the relationship between the airport and the Trump organization and insisted it operated at arm's length from the government. You're going to have to forgive me. I don't exactly know who Sturgeon is right for this moment. However, one censored government memo revealed Transport Scotland officials lobbied ministers to meet Trump Organization staff, United States Air Force commanders, and Federal Aviation Administration officials to promote Prestwick's business interests on an official tour in the United States in April 2015, led by Brown. Brown is up earlier in the article. I'm going to go back to that in a second. I'm just trying to, where this came to be and why. It seemed odd to me that the Trump organization is wrapped in with these other, governmental organizations, some of them very much military in nature. It's the Federal Aviation Administration, the United States Air Force commanders, and the Trump organization meeting with Transport Scotland officials, ministers. Very weird to me. They're saying they're trying to promote the airport. I don't know what they're saying. It's just damn odd. From in the email it says to the GPA. I already forget what GPA stands for. I looked it up. It has to do with like the damn it, I forget. GPA stands for Agreement on Government Procurement. Government Procurement Agreement. That's what it stands for, right? Where was I? So from the Trump organization's perspective, it says, GPS suggests the meeting in New York with Trump organization RE developing inbound tourism to Scotland, and in particular, Ayrshire. It is understood that they are looking to develop the high net worth individuals market coming in on corporate jets, etc., where GPA will be the staging post for transition on the onto the Trump helicopter and alternative ground transport. GPA is also being used as the base for transporting to the other Trump properties in Aberdeen and Doonbeg. I don't fully understand that, I don't know why the Trump organization is part of this group of military, the spaceport, whatever. It's too complicated, dude. So, back to how the military started using this airport. Official memos seen by The Guardian show Prestwick has won these contracts with the knowledge of the Scottish government ministers, including Keith Brown. Keith Brown's the economy secretary. Both while Trump was the Republican presidential candidate and since he became president. So, Scottish government officials sought to withhold details of many of the deals, heavily censoring documents it released under Freedom of Information legislation, but the United States Air Force confirmed Prestwick was used to support frontline U.S. military operations. The documents reveal that United States Air Force. No, I already read that. Brown was told. Darn it. Brown was told. In case let me get to the point. I'll read it. It just seemed odd to me that nobody thought Trump was going to be president. All right, nobody thought this. Nobody thought it, and yet the Defense Department is choosing this airport. And they chose it before he became president in October 2016 to be a staging point for whatever, and that it could eventually replace, our contract in one of the bases in the United Kingdom in Suffolk that ends in 2024. That's what that says here. But it just seems odd because up until whatever election day was, I forget whether it's November 8th or November 20th, I think it's November 22nd, everyone thought Hillary was going to win. So why would the Defense Department be negotiating contracts before the presidency with an airport that's right next to Trump Turnberry? I don't know. It seems pretty weird to me, dude. I don't know. Brown was told a visit by U.S. diplomats to Prestwick to prepare for Trump's arrival to open the Turnberry Resort in June 2016 led to new contacts with the United States Air Force European Chief of Defense and the U.S. Air Attaché to the United Kingdom. In October 2016, Prestwick signed a 3-year basing and fuel supply deal with the Defense Logistics Agency, helping it almost double its income from fuel sales to 3 million, pounds last year. So it signed a deal with the Defense Logistics Agency. That's us, okay? Which is a huge agency of the Defense Department that basically handles all of our supply logistics. All right, it's very big, a lot of money running through the Defense Logistics Agency. I had this thing up here. Where is it? At the beginning of I already lost it. You said to Turkey. Did I? No, there it is. This movie, Buffalo Soldiers. This is actually a pretty decent movie with Joaquin Phoenix. I like Joaquin Phoenix a lot. And he's in the news tons now because of Joker, which I definitely want to see. But in this movie, this is in Berlin. It's after the fall of the Berlin Wall. I guess, the end of the Soviet Union is probably the end, near the end of the Cold War. And he works in logistics, and he's illegally selling supplies and drugs. Drugs big time, heroin. He knows how to cook it, and that's like a big thing is selling drugs. I don't know, whatever. So, anyways, it just seemed odd to me that, and by the way, the Defense Logistics Agency, it's a huge agency. It's like 30,000 employees. It's massive. Basically, all of the military supplies run through it, and whoever oversees that oversees a lot of money. And the guy who's the head of the DLA is this dude right here, Lieutenant General, I guess, Lieutenant General Darrell Williams, who you read his biography, you cannot not hear and not there. That's where I found it. Not here. No dates nowhere. Except was commissioned into the Army Quartermaster's Corps in 1983. Basically I was trying to figure out when to become the director of the DLA. And it doesn't say. It doesn't say on the government's own website. Where he is. Here, this is the military's website. It doesn't say. But he became the director in 2017 from this article here. The funny thing I thought was that where he grew up, jumping all over. It's May 1st, 2017. He's a native of West Palm Beach. West Palm Beach. Grew up, went to high school in West. I guess he was born in West Palm Beach. Grew up in West Palm Beach. West Palm Beach. Who lives in West Palm Beach? Who's got a home in a club, Mar-a-Lago in West Palm Beach? That would be Trump, wouldn't it? Anyways. So that's pretty much that's it. I mean, this is a big mess, but it's just these are all these things jump out at me, and so I'm presenting them to you. I'm never going to prove anything, but a lot of it seems pretty weird to me. Pretty freaking weird. And that is the story there, dude. That is the story there. Thanks for watching my videos. Please subscribe to my channel. Give me a like down below. See you in the next video. Later, man.